What is up? So, like I told you guys yesterday, Antifa was deemed a terrorist organization. So understand what that means. Now, the full apparatus of the military has the legal authority to go through everything that mentions Antifa and charge you as terrorists. That's what now happens. You understand? You get out here, you do stupid shit, you make these threats, you celebrate this shit in the streets, terrorist charges. Guess what? When you're a terrorist, you don't get afforded the same abilities that we do. So I went today, guys, I'm gonna show you, and I know I was gonna wait to get the laptop until I started revenue, but I can't keep doing it like this. So I went and got a laptop that I found out online today. Went and made sure everything worked on it. It's got all the ports and all the plugs I need on it for the cameras that should be here in the next few days. So we will have more professional stuff. I'm trying to set up Streamlabs right now, but it's not letting me log in. So that's why I'm going live here, and that's why I'm late. I've been trying to get that laptop set up so we can have better streams. So I've ordered the cameras. The cameras are coming in. We're going to have better streams. All kinds of good stuff going on. Just in time, too. A bunch of crazy shit happened. You know about the 3 officers that got killed last night and the 2 that were shot and put in critical condition but stable. But it's a really weird situation because when you go to public records and, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon where I'm at. 3:51, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon where I'm at. I got 2 today. I just went and did a couple small tree jobs today, though. It wasn't nothing that big. But after I got off work, I drove up to Inglewood and bought this laptop from the guy. My day's great. How was yours? I hope you're all being blessed. Yes, they get off on violence, but guess what? Now they're terrorists. So any of these people going out here using any of these pop words, any of this stuff, creating violence, threatening violence, any of that stuff, they're now deemed terrorists. Like I told you yesterday, they would be deemed terrorists. All these leftists called me crazy, said it had never happened. We're done. We're fed up with you. We're sick. You know what I mean? So it is our time to shine and take our country back. And everybody be safe on Saturday. In case you don't know, they have a nationwide, worldwide, stop the fascist rallies going on in everybody's state. I'll be out here live at the one in my town. There's supposed to be a few thousand people out here. We'll see. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second, but we'll see. There's about 2,800 of them last time for the No Kings rallies. So we'll see what happens. It's been, what a crazy night it was. Like I was saying a minute ago, the officers got killed, 2 shot, critically wounded in Pennsylvania, York, Pennsylvania. But it's a weird situation. I didn't go to bed till 5. I was up freaking trying to research it all night. They're not releasing what happened. First, they said it was a warrant that was being served and somebody ambushed them. Then they said they were responding to a domestic dispute call and that these people were known to be bad people. But every neighbor in the neighborhood says these people were the most wonderful people around and their families own all of the farmland around the area. So it's a really weird situation. They won't release any body cam. I've already tried to pull the public records from York, Pennsylvania. They won't release the investigation report. They won't release, there's no warrant. There's no warrant for this property in the system anywhere. So if they were serving a warrant, I want to know what the warrant was because it's not in the system like it should be. And kind of makes me think things might have been a little fishy. Were they saying they were serving a warrant so they could have had justification for illegally being on a person's private property at their farm that just happens to be going through tax problems and the state wants to eminent domain their property? It's a weird situation, you know? So this is around the area of Pennsylvania. Remember when they were arresting preachers in the streets and arresting people for speaking out against COVID and not wearing masks and stuff? So I've tried to find any information on that. And they're not releasing it anywhere, not to any of the news. They're telling us all the same thing. It was a warrant being served. There's no warrant in the system for it, though. Not one. So this guy had the presence of mind and the training. They're not even giving us the information about him yet. So he had the presence of mind and the training to kill 3 cops and critically injured 2 before he was taken out. So, don't think that could be a leftist, but crazy shit happens on farmland. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out here that don't believe you have the legal right to come on their private property in the middle of nowhere. So I want to see the facts of the matter before I make any judgments on this situation. I'll post the complaint reports on the officers that were involved in the situation. They're pretty extensive. Constitutional violation complaints, pretty extensive on all fucking 5 of them. So I'm not going to say that guy was a bad guy. I'm not going to say they were bad guys until I actually know what the fuck happened. Right now, what we know happened is some cops said they served a warrant to a guy's property. They got there. The guy was prepared for them to get there. He must have heard them coming. It's the country. They knew they were coming from, it's got a big, long dirt driveway, farmland, middle of nowhere. So stuff like this is bound to happen. Bound to happen right now. We don't know who's coming to our door. If these cops went to the door, they didn't announce themselves. Person thought they were defending themselves, didn't know who they were defending themselves against. Everybody's jumping out right away saying this person was a horrible person, but we've been given no information. And every one of their direct neighbors said they were great people. Say they would have never expected something like this to happen. They don't know actually what happened. Nobody saw it. All we can hope for is that there's cameras on that property and the family finds a way to get those cameras back. You know what I mean? So we can actually find out what happened in that situation. So until we know what's going on there, that's all I'm going to talk about that. Let's talk about that it's official. Antifa, terrorists, official in the law books. Antifa are deemed, if Trump is so dumb, why does he keep out every fucking time? You know what I'm saying? See, they don't understand the ramifications of that organization now being deemed terrorist. So now any of you online that have anything that says Antifa, if you're funding them, if you're selling stuff with Antifa on it, that means you are funding, operating, and moving around and organizing a terrorist cell in America. Straight to jail. Straight to jail. You understand that, right? Straight to jail. Let's put these people in Guantanamo with the big old savage fucking Marines that did some horrible things to get in there. Let's send these people where they need to go. You know what I mean? You're a terrorist. You're not going to regular prison. You understand that, right? You're going to like federal prison, big boy crimes. You're not going to the good federal prison where you get an Xbox and a fucking TV in your cell either. So we'll be loud and proud out in the middle of these assholes on Saturday. If there's not that many here, we'll drive to the one in Tampa, okay? Because the one in Tampa will go on all day. These assholes come out here just enough to get their little check from the guy with the clipboard, and then they leave at the same time every time. They usually come out for 1 hour, and sometimes they get violent and stupid. Most times they don't, though, because, we tell them, if you get violent and stupid, we're going to peacefully protest you right out of here. So we'll see what happens Saturday. Once I get this, I'm hoping to have all of this software set up by 7 o'clock stream tonight, and we'll get a little bit better stream. I'll be able to bring up all my sources instead of using a separate screen for it. So it can all be in the same spot, compact. All I got to do is get Streamlabs to cooperate with me. If anybody knows how to use technology, man, I can sure use a conversation with you at Berserker Patriot store on Telegram. We could even do a video conference, but it keeps telling me all my information is wrong, and I'm not going to obviously put my passwords and shit on the camera, but I've got them written down, and they're not working. So don't forget, guys, if you can get to Arizona Sunday, get out there, take some drones with you, go 2 miles out and work your way in about 4 to 6 hours before Charlie Kirk's funeral starts. If I had the money, I hope you would understand I would be up there. I know I wouldn't be able to get inside, But I'd be up there doing what I can. There's a bunch of people doing tours. Guys, if you're in Florida, get a hold of the Berserker Militia, get a hold of Berserker Patriots. We'll come out. We'll walk around your rallies. We'll walk around your events. We'll fly drones. We'll look at stuff, and we won't charge you. We'll do this out of the just straight out of our hearts. You know, I got about 4,800 guys that are really willing to help out from around the surrounding community, some of which are Oath Keepers, some of which are Proud Boys and stuff like that. So if you guys need anything and you're down here doing your events, General Flynn, answer my email. I know you're busy as fuck right now, but we're going to be at your event next week. So Michael Flynn, please answer my, well, then get the fuck off here if it's just blah, blah, blah. Get the fuck off my channel, bro. I don't give a fuck. You know, you'll come in here and talk shit like this is your stuff. That's what we're talking about. You're self-entitled little fucking twats, man. How about if you come on somebody's channel, you understand I'm trying to explain to you that we're going to make this channel massive again. We're going to get back up into the fucking millions, okay? It's just, I've been doing this for 4 days and I've already gotten, you know, thousands of followers and millions of views and fucking, just off my cell phone. Now that I got my laptop, you fucking troll losers, and I get all my good equipment in, I'll actually be able to put the news out. Right now, I'm just an asshole talking out of his fucking butt off the cuff. So, it is going to be fun. I love having you guys on here. Come on, talking shit. I'm demon possessed? Absolutely not. In the name of Jesus, all demons must flee from me. Demons can't inhabit this vessel. This is God's house. Demons can't have it. Regardless of how much of a piece of shit I am, I love Jesus Christ, and I know he's my Lord and Savior, and I know he is King, and I know that he is coming back with a sword in his hand for vengeance. Jesus isn't coming back for peace and puppy dogs. He's coming back with a sword in his hand that's lit on fire with vengeance, and he's going to pour the wrath of God out on all of the demon-possessed and all of the sinners. I listen to Revelation. They've got this really awesome audiobook version of Revelation on YouTube right now. I found it about a week ago. I'm telling you, I'll put a link. I'll repost it on my channel. And guys, go check it out. The guy's voice is just captivating whenever you listen to it. And if you've never had somebody read Revelation to you and you've just read it with your imagination, go listen to Revelation. It's a great book in the Bible. It's my favorite. Well, Romans, I like Romans and Acts, but Revelation is one of my favorites. Not Revelations, everybody, either. There weren't Revelations. It's the revelation of Christ. He's telling you all what's going to happen in the end of times. So, I love you guys. I'm going to stay on here just enough to tell you why I wasn't on my 2 o'clock thing. Because, you know, I had that little job this morning, and normally I'm here at 2. Well, we went and covered some stuff that I'm about to post on YouTube after this while I'm setting that up. And we drove up to Inglewood and did this. We're going to do a weekend stream at the beach one weekend, by the way. If people would like to come out, if you're in Southwest Florida, probably not this weekend, but the next weekend, we're going to do a community get-together. Usually when we do this, I post flyers for about a week ahead and post it on Facebook. Last time we got like 500-600 people out there. We'd like to get, you know, a lot more than that this time, though. We all need to start looking out for each other and standing with each other. And even if you're not willing to get out here and train, at least get out here with those of us that are training, so you know that when we are on the move, what you need to do so you don't get us and our brothers killed. That way we're not having to drag you down the fucking road with a tourniquet on your leg, and you can at least get out here and try to keep pace with us so we can get you to safety if something does happen. You know, at least if you don't want to do physical training, let us teach you how to be situationally aware and get the fuck out of the way and not freak out and scream like a fucking wacko and lose all senses to where you do get hurt when a situation like this happens. So everybody, If you just go on Facebook, there's somebody in your local community like me that's willing to volunteer. You don't even have to pay me. Oh, let me get you. Oh, yeah, they're always bothered. Salty Colonel, so you're a salty army family, huh? I'm actually been sending email after email after email to Salty Cracker because you notice he disappeared for a little bit. You know, this shit gets rough. You know, he gets threatened a lot too. He doesn't talk about it. He never talks about the shit that goes on with him. But he gets fucking threatened too, man. I love Salty Cracker. He's fucking vulgar as fuck like me. We don't have too many of us out here, you know. We try to make it as fun as possible and smile as much as we can with everybody. But yeah, absolutely. I would love to do a cast with him. And another person I'm trying to get to do a show with right now is Andrew Wilson. I'd like to go debate him about a few things because his force doctrine theory is pretty interesting, and it's 100% pretty much spot on too. So yeah, that's what it is. That's what these Democrats are voting for is mental illness 2025. Yeah, I'm going bald. I'm 43 years old. My testosterone fucking kicks my ass, man. Fucking, I'm very hyper, and I have fucking testosterone that fucking makes me sweat babies. You don't understand what that means, then you never went through that stage of puberty, I guess. But I never lose energy. If I did drugs, I'd be fucking dead because my fucking heart and my brain would explode. I would never stop. At least I get 2 or 3 hours of sleep at night now. I'm 43. My brain won't slow down. The only thing it does for me is I still look like I'm 23 physically, except in the face, you know. I look like a fucking weird troll in the face. How unstable I am? I earned and spent over $5,000 in the past 7 days. That's not unstable. I don't go out and get violent, and I don't go on people's YouTube channels and just insult them for no reason. That's unstable. Unstable is living with your mom and still going to the mall with your friends when you're 35 years old. Unstable, I'll take you up to the mall on a Saturday and let you see the line of unstable 50-year-old and 35-year-old men out there. You people that are above 26, you're still walking around with pink and green and purple fucking hair, and you wear pajamas to the fucking grocery store. That's unstable. You know what I mean? You don't handle yourself or cut your nails right or fucking keep yourself as clean as much as possible. That's unstable. You don't wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and first thing you do is worry about your health so you work out. That's unstable. Always trolls, man. Always. No matter what you do on the inner spheres, if you're going to try to start any kind of social media channel, I don't care if you're a saint. Look at Charlie Kirk, man. He was the best of us. And he got the most hate, you know? So it doesn't matter how good of a person you are. Somebody's going to hate you because they hate themselves. The only people that go on other people's social media knowing that they don't agree with what they're saying just specifically to insult them when they don't even know them on a personal level at all, it's a large child. You know what I mean? They haven't grown up. They live in a live action fucking cartoon where everything is just non-reality. So that's evil. You're a bad person if all you do is think about ways to make people you don't agree with miserable. I would have a horrible life doing that. Because like I said, when I get off here, I don't think about any of you. I see a Biden sticker on somebody's car. I don't think anything. I don't think, oh man, fuck that person, I hate them. I just think, oh, that's sad, they're retarded, and I don't think about it again. You know? But you, because of this truck that I have, this is the bane of your existence. I might be a nothing nobody, but all of you fucking Democrats know who the fuck I am. You wrote a novel about me called White Wool Rage, The End of Democracy, and put my truck on the cover of the book. You know, you're the reason I got 10 million followers in 2016. You're the reason I got as big as I did. My trolls, not the people that follow me. Because when you look at it in analytics, it's the people that are talking shit to you that follow you more than the people that agree with you when it comes to the Republican side. And that's because most people on the Republican side have kids, or they're at work, or they're not thinking about, hey, let's just go bombard the internet all fucking day. When they get time out of their day, they look at their phone. You know what I mean? They'll be at work, they take a break, they look at their phone. So you can always tell who the liberal is, because when you go on your lunch break, they're at the fucking Circle K wearing their pajamas like they just woke up. You know what I mean? And they're 35 years old. Or they call their mom on the phone while they're at their grocery store and ask her what the fucking pin to the debit card is. And they're in my age. That's nuts. That's one thing I can say about myself. So I've been on my own since I was 15 fucking years old, man. I ain't never had a help from anybody except for like friends that have places like this that let me rent a space. And I'm still paying my way here. And I do all their fucking work for free for them. So, you know, adults are busy. They're too busy to get out here and spend like all your social media personalities with all these hundreds of millions of followers and like 20 million followers. That's because they literally go live 24 hours a fucking day. They don't have all those followers because they're organic followers. They have those followers because they're always on the fucking internet. The Hassan Piker guy, he's on the internet 24 hours a day. You know, I've been back full time for 6 days now, right? 6 days. I've already got 2.5 million views just in my lives alone and all of my analytics just in the 7 days. And I only go live twice a day for an hour. So there's a big difference between the views that Republicans like me get and conservatives. Well, I'm a constitutionalist. I no longer am with any side of the party. I'm a constitutionalist. I believe in the constitutionalist. And I guess I'm an atomist too, is what I call it at this point, because I believe in the Bible. I'm a traditional Judeo-Christian Bible believer. I believe what my Bible tells me. I've studied in my Bible quite extensively, and I know it's real. I've died. I know the Bible's real. I've died before. So I'll put the fear of God in you. If you've ever died, you know what I'm talking about. It's just weird. It's fucking weird, you know? So it is what it is. Y'all can say God's not real, but that's what they say. You know, demons in the Bible are non-binary. You say you're non-binary. Okay, and this stuff just started coming out, like, 10 years ago? Like, this really started popping 10 years ago? So I guess the end of time started about 10 years ago. Because it talks about the wars between the angels and the demons. And the demons are non-binary, okay? They want to kill, steal, and destroy everything that's good and true on the earth. They want to sacrifice babies. You're sacrificing babies. You're murdering babies. A human life is a human life, period. If humans are going to have rights, then they got to have rights from the moment of conception. Otherwise, there's no such thing as human rights. So you're just meat suits for demons at this point. Because everything that the Bible literally talks about is going to happen in Revelation with the demons is what you're doing right now. You know, Charlie Kirk died on 12:23. Go read John 12:23. Please, hold on. Let me do this for you. Let me do this for you, because this is the most powerful thing that you're going to hear today. I don't know why it's just speaking for itself. John 12:23. Okay, John 12:23. Jesus replied, "The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. The hour, the moment Jesus refers to is his crucifixion, death, and resurrection, Son of Man. This is the title Jesus used for himself. Glorified, the glory Jesus speaks of is tied to his suffering, death, and subsequent exaltation by the Father. Now let's pull it up in all the different verses. Okay, so we got John 12:23. Jesus replied, "The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. Very truly, I tell you, unless a kernel of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed. But if it dies, it produces many seeds. Anyone who loves their life will lose it, while anyone who hates their life in this world will keep it for eternal life. Whoever serves me must follow me. And where I am, my servant also will be. My Father will honor the one who serves me." Hold on one second, guys, sorry. Do you understand the ramification? That's the verse from the New Testament. And think of how much that explains. Because look at all the people around the world. Millions and millions of people have now turned to Christ because of Charlie Kirk, because of his assassination, because of his death. So in that sense, we glorify Charlie Kirk in the presence of God, under the name of Jesus the King and the Holy Spirit, because we understand that Charlie Kirk is sitting beside Jesus right now, and he's looking at us, and he has a crown on his head that says Saint Charlie. Do you understand that? And he's going to be one of the ones that comes upon us to help lead us back to the Father when things start to go. Because the ones that can't defend themselves and the ones that are true stewards of Christ will be the ones that go first. But the warriors of God will be left behind to fight demons and expel evil from the earth. And then the angels will come down and they will pour out their wrath upon the earth, a bowl full of wrath, okay? And then the 7 deadly sins will fall upon the earth, and the earth will be in torment for thousands of years. And then, after the torment, the rebirth of God's creation and the new temple of Jerusalem will come upon the planet, made of solid gold, and we will be covered in the light of God once again and be beautiful. And we will say, we are God. Do you understand that? We will no longer be human. We will be transcended. We will once again, at one time, can you understand? Our soul, our little speck of soul is the part that we broke off, and we broke God's heart. And he broke that little piece of soul off, and he gave it to us, and that's what gave us humanity and life and all creation. Okay, so when they say the Holy Spirit is inside of us. Jesus said, "You broke my heart," and he came down from heaven, and he forgave us for that. Do you understand how that works? Do you get how that works? The gravity of that he gave to you. Just me alone, the horrible, terrible piece of shit sinner that I am every day. Just that alone, the pain he had to feel all in one moment. I'd be dead right now if I had to feel all the pain I felt my entire life, or all the pain that I've caused people. I'd be dead. I wouldn't be able to handle that. But he handled that for me because I couldn't, and he knew it. Do you understand? And I beg for him every day to change my mind. I beg for him every single day. I say, give me the word of God and put it on my tongue. Give me the Spirit of the Lord and take the vulgarness away from me. But he hasn't done that yet, because clearly I haven't fully done what I need to do for him to give me that reward. So one day, God will put his Spirit upon me, and I'll be with Charlie. Do you understand? Do you get it? So Charlie had that. He reached that day. He reached that day. So that's all we can aspire to. We can all aspire to go home to our Father, like Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? That's what he wanted more than anything in the world. It says right in the Bible, you must even put God above your own family. You must. Because God is your family. God is their family. God is her family. God is your family. Do you understand? God is your father. Your Abba. We use because that was spoken to existence in Hebrew. So the Old Testament was in Hebrew, not in Aramaic like the New Bible, or in Greek and Roman like the New Bibles. That's from the New Testament. So we got to go BC, before Christ. That's what BC stands for in the timeline, before Christ. So we got to go with that timeline and how they were doing things. So we lived in the old law, and when Jesus came, that brought the new law. Okay, so people tend to misconstrue, because Jesus said when he came, the Jews will never be on my side, but they are God's chosen people, so we have given that. They had to walk through the desert, and they had to wander, and to find their way back to the motherland. But it also says the new Jerusalem, though. Everybody says, well, we have to back Jerusalem, we have to back Israel because of the Old Testament. But in the New Testament and in Revelation, it says the new Israel, the new children of God. And he speaks of the Gentiles and everybody else, the Canaanites, the Gentiles, all of us together as one. Do you understand? That's why the path is wide. More people, it says a million times in the Bible, more people are going to hell than they are heaven. You understand that, right? The path is wide to lead to heaven. The path is narrow the path is wide that leads to hell. The path is narrow that leads to heaven. So, I mean, it tells you that. So it is what it is. You people can do what you want to do. All we can do is give you the way, and this is the way. And if you don't choose that way, then you choose the path of demonic possession, ultimate pain, eternal suffering, everything you've ever feared in your entire life, your worst possible fears of everything, is what you live for the rest of your life, for eternity. You think you're miserable now, and there's no way to stop it. You're going to scream and you're going to beg. That's what the devil wants to hear from you. You're giving the devil what he wants right now by committing these acts of violence. And are you hearing these things they're now saying about murdering babies? It's fucking insane. You people are fucking insane. It's like the more we try to stop evil, the more evil you become. So that's the only reason this can only be explained through demonic possession. There's no other way. Look at these people. They don't even act like human beings when they're coming at you. They bark at you like animals. They growl at you. It's weird. These people are weird. They paint themselves up to look like a different creation than God gave them. They cut their body parts off and they mutilate themselves. That's what demons do. That's literally what they talk about demons doing in the Bible, and in all the stories of writings of God. So we just have to understand that. And we have to understand there's God's people and we need to stay together. You know what I mean? We need to come together because we are susceptible that this world has been given to the devil as a test for humanity. And the devil does have authority over the earth. God did give the devil authority over the earth, and he gave the devil authority over man to do as he pleases. The ones that stay with me are my chosen children. This is what the Bible is supposed to ingrain into you. You know what I mean? Most people can't deal with the Bible because every time you try to read a story in the Bible, you have to pronounce 50,000 names that you do not understand and you can't fucking pronounce them. I get that, okay? But once you get past that, it's great. If you read it for what it is, the historical reference of true life, not a fantasy book like you're reading. But if you want to read a great fantasy book, always read Revelation. You know what I mean? Wonderful. Read all of the Old Testament, the beginning of the Old Testament. The story of Moses. It's powerful, bro. So, I love you guys. I will be here as much as I possibly can. Cult? No. I believe in God. Cult's something completely different. That's the problem with you people. You don't know anything. It's not that you don't know what words mean. You don't know anything about anything except what you've seen in a fucking 5-second clip scrolling through. It's, oh, God must have, what? Oh, that's all you heard. That's all you heard. You heard 2 words, and that is the entirety of the truth for you people. And it's freaking crazy, man. It's insanity. If I were a cult member, there'd be a bunch of people around me all the time. I do all this stuff by myself. You know what I mean? A cult is people that get together and they all think the same way. I don't agree with anybody on my side, really. You know, I believe in the old school way of doing things. I believe we should just be conquerors again and take our fucking country back. That's what I believe. You know, it would make it a lot easier and a lot quicker, and our children wouldn't get hurt. The way things are going now, this is the new America, the way things are going. This is the new America. You know, because any other time in America in the 80s and 90s, you people would have been hunted the fuck down, and they would have hired bounty hunters. You'd have had Dog the Bounty Hunter fucking finding you people. You know what I'm saying? On fucking TV. But no, we live in 2025 where people think they can turn into fucking magical werewolves and purple fucking unicorns and shove a dildo up their ass and call himself a dude. It's fucking crazy, man. None of this makes sense except the fact that we live in the movie Idiocracy. We went to sleep, we all fucking died, and somebody downloaded our brain into the Matrix, and they've just been playing Idiocracy on a loop for the past 6 years. You know what I mean? And then some of us are just stuck in that reality that they're living in. It's just weird. Because you can't go anywhere and do anything anymore, especially in the cities. Man, can you imagine if I drove through Chicago right now with my truck? You know, can you imagine if I drove through Chicago with this fucking truck right now? This motherfucker I'd have to wear my body armor. And I'd have to say the law be damned. You know what I mean? I'd have to do what had to be done. You call me a cult member when because I don't agree with you, you want me dead. When somebody doesn't agree with you, your first reaction is we want to murder you. You don't even go through the proper channels to get the fucking killing. You just go straight that we're going to be the most demonic, evil motherfuckers we could be, possibly. There's no other way around it for you people. You're like, no, fuck putting them in jail, you know. Fuck, you know, deeming them as terrorists. Joel did that. Fuck, you got your DOJ and your FBI to deem fucking anyone that put 3 fingers in the air, a fucking terrorist. You know, you're calling black people white supremacists, bro. Think about the logic behind your fucking attitude. You've seen my white husky and said your dog is fucking racist because she's white. The only thing that can explain that is you're fucking retarded. You know, that's the only thing that could explain that. I've had a teenager ask me, because I have a contact that gives me a wide eye like my dog. I've had a fucking teenager from this generation ask me if she was my real fucking daughter. Are you serious, bro? It's a dog. And you asked me if it was my real fucking daughter or not, because we had the same eyes. You gotta be kidding me with this generation, man. And don't mention the fact that they don't have enough in Gen Alpha to run this fucking country. They don't have enough of a population to run America. You know, they have the smallest population. They have a smaller population in Gen Alpha with less testosterone than we had in the exception of the country. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. So basically, it'll be starting all over again for them once my generation dies off. Because what's Gen Z going to do? Nothing. They're not going to run the electric companies. They're not going to fucking make sure you have fucking roads that you can drive on. They're damn sure not going to fucking cut these trees. Look, let me show you what my job is. And I'll be doing this road probably in the next 5 months. You know, let me show you what I actually do for a living other than going around and cutting people's trees out of their houses. Once a year, we come through and we do this. See these trees, fucking power line right here? Well, that breaks your power line system down, is what that does. If the trees cross in and go up to the high line there, it can catch the whole fucking tree on fire. Okay, then you got a real problem. And it starts melting the wires, and then you got exposed wires and more tree falls on it. And then you got a transformer that's right over there that can overcharge and blow the fuck up, and then everybody's power on this street is out. If I don't do that job right there, you don't have power. Do you understand? It's just simple little shit like that makes our world run. You want to get rid of fossil fuels? Well, then you just got rid of everything. Everything that I have on and holding, everything you can see in the fucking background, every single thing here, everything is made from fossil fuels. Everything. There's nothing that you can touch, hold, grab, or feel in America that's not made from fossil fuels. And the funny part is, we're going to run out long before we find an alternate energy source. You understand that, right? We're running the fuck out long before. And then it takes longer than our lifespans for the Earth to replenish that, because the Earth does replenish itself, regardless of what you fucking liberal idiots say. But if wind and solar were the way to go, then every gas and oil company in the entire world would be pumping billions into it. Billions. But they don't even pay for themselves in their lifespan. Not one windmill doesn't pay for itself in its lifespan. You'll lose billions of dollars off of it. The oil, you know what the oil companies do? They use windmills in Texas to power the oil rigs so you can have power. That's what they do. They use the windmills to power the oil rigs because you can't get electricity that far out. That's all they're good for. Do you know how many you've seen how many solar panels are on top of a house just to be able to run it after a fucking hurricane, right? You couldn't run your house 24/7 on that unless you had a $400,000 battery system on your house. Okay, and your battery system has to be able to charge through the whole day, every single day, to work that night. Could you imagine our oceans would be full of solar panels? Our everything. You know what the future of electric could be, though? Magnetic fucking propulsion. You could do that because you can put 4 magnets together inside of a coil and make them spin indefinitely. So why aren't we doing that? You know what I mean? Why aren't we looking into, well, we've looked into hydropower. Distillating the water is way too fucking hard to do, and it's way too expensive. So that's not an option. So, I mean, what do you guys want from the world? You know, all of a sudden in your generation, every scientist and every motherfucker that's accomplished anything in the world was just wrong all of a sudden. Which is wrong. Every biology book, every science book, everything ever invented in American history is just wrong. Just wrong. Just gone. Doesn't work. You know, you guys know how the whole world should run, even though you've never experienced anything in your fucking life and you've never done anything to better anybody or even yourself, except for break people down and threaten to kill them. You know, I honestly want to understand how your brains can work the way they do. How you can get on here and just hear the way that I speak and literally want to murder me. I'm smiling. I'm being nice to you. You know, I'm telling you I love you. I'm praying for you. I'm trying to help you turn to the path that helps our country run better. Like the majority of the forefathers said in all their writings. If there's no place, these writings were made for a moral and religious person. There's no place for anyone else. That's just what American inception was. Everybody was a Christian in America when America was made. You understand that, right? We didn't let Muslims in here. We didn't let communists in here. It's against federal law to accept communists as fucking citizens in America. You know, if you look into anyone's background, you find out they're a communist. They're legally not even, it's a law in the books. You're not allowed to be a communist in America. You're not allowed to be a terrorist in America. You know, we used to have a policy where we didn't negotiate with terrorists. We wouldn't still have, people over in Gaza as hostages right now. If this were the 90s, we'd have went in immediately and got them out with SF. Those people don't want to come home anymore. How long have they been captive and getting tortured? You have no clue what those horrible fucking Palestinian people are doing to those fucking hostages. That lady finally came out, 2 months ago, and admitted everything they did to her. Her body parts no longer work right. I mean, these people don't want to come back. They don't want to come back. Most of them probably aren't even alive. They're just saying they are, you know? So, I mean, it's crazy, bro, that we haven't even done that. At least I can admit where, hey, I might have been wrong at a few things, right? Y'all can't even do that. Y'all can't even do that. At least I can admit, hey, you know what? I might have been wrong about some of the situation that was going to happen in America, but it doesn't mean I don't hate what's happening. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good things happening in America right now, too. Like, you were deemed terrorists today. We wanted that so bad. So sometimes I almost feel real good about myself, guys, because every time I complain about something over and over and over again on the internet, like a week later, that shit comes true. And I know they're not watching my channels. I'm not saying, oh, they sold the berserker patriot shit. And, oh, look, now they're going to get on this. I'm not saying that. I'm not fucking retarded. I'm just saying I'm right a lot more than I'm wrong. So, hey, Donald Trump, how about, since there's so many people trying to kill us, and this Saturday they're going to have big rallies everywhere, I'm about to post, because they're dumb enough to organize this shit on the internet and put event calendars up and stuff so you can register to go to the events. And you can each person can register up to 2,000 people on their web pages. So I have RSVP'd for the one in Port Charlotte. You know, I'm going to be a very important attendee to that rally. So it's just, the guy couldn't help himself. You know, with the Charlie Kirk assassin, he couldn't help himself but to post everything that was going on and send text. You guys can't control your emotions. You're always going to get caught. It's always going to make you look really fucking evil and stupid. You know? So, I love you guys, man. I'm going to get off here. I wasn't going to be on here long, and I've almost done an hour. I got to get back to setting up this Streamlabs stuff. Be safe out here. Be well, and be blessed. Thank you for the super chats and the super gifts today, guys. And just look out for yourselves. Watch your 6. Fuck yeah.